In the first video, we used a lot of pre-processed bamboo. So in this video, we're going to focus a bit more on bamboo that we harvest ourselves and how I prepared it and used it in the build. Here in front of us is a very old, unmanaged stand of bamboo called waka, and it's got a lot of dead and decaying culms inside. The name bamboo is a description of the noise it makes when it burns, it explodes, because of the hollow nodes inside. And in Indonesia, they call it patung. Indonesia, interestingly, is made up of a whole lot of islands from volcanoes. Around about 75 are still active. And there the people plant bamboo on the sides of the volcano so that when the hot ash and gas comes down the side of the volcano, it explodes the bamboo, warning them that the dragon's coming and they need to evacuate. Left untreated, bamboo is prone to splitting and will decay quite rapidly, so it's important to treat it properly prior to using it. Bamboo generally flowers only at the end of its life, but does occasionally do sporadic flowering. And here you can see an example of the flowers. They are a lot like a grain, something like wheat. Let me see if I can fight my way through here and get into the middle. You'll notice that in the middle here, the stand is completely hollow. So the bamboo has grown from a small tuft in the middle, and the new shoots sort of grow out on the perimeter and expanded out in a circle over time, giving you some idea of how old the stand is. You can easily identify the new shoots that have been produced this season from these silvery sheaths that protect the outside as it extends upwards. Once it reaches its full height and girth, then these fall away. Because bamboo's got a very shallow root system, it needs to grow in areas of high rainfall, typically 1,000 mils per annum and above, or it will do well next to a watercourse, as you can see here. This is on the sort of extended ponding and flooded areas of a stream nearby. Yeah, you can see me walking out from the stand, and that gives you some kind of scale as to how tall these bamboo get. These ones, although on the left you'll see the wind has sheared off the top because that's the windward side, but on the sort of center right you'll see they're much longer calms. They're at least about 15 to 20 meters high. Now I'll take you and show you how I harvested the bamboo and treated it for use in building the proa. Cut the culm just above the first node so water doesn't go back down into the roots and rot them. And these double serrated handsaws are ideal to work between the tight spaces of the culms. The ideal age to harvest the culms is at 3 years during the dry season to avoid bumping and damaging water shoots. Notice how thick the wall of the culm is near the base. And the higher up you go, the thinner the wall thickness will become and more hollow. So here you can see the vascular bundles, these sort of pink dots, and these contain fiber as well as starch. The starch is stored there to produce new shoots. Now, ideally we want to get the starch out and keep the fiber because the starch will attract borer beetles and are prone to fungal attack. There's several ways of doing it. You can treat it with chemicals like boric acid. A very easy way is just to soak and leach it out with water. Salt water, if you're near the sea, is fantastic. Otherwise, place them in a dam or a stream. Something with flowing water is better. If you're going to leave it in stagnant water, like a trough or something, you should change the water once a week. To properly leach it out, you need about 4 weeks of soaking. Here you can see the decrease in wall thickness of the culm from the base, middle and upper sections. The outer coat of the bamboo is high in silica and waxy compounds that protect it from moisture. So to leach out the starch, you need to actually ream out the nodes on the inside of the culm, and that allows then better penetration of the moisture in order to leach out the starch. A simple way to do it is to use a rebar that's sharpened at one end, and you can easily secure this to a pole using a lightweight chain wrapped around it. The chain locks into the ribs of the rebar, preventing it from sliding, and the ribs also act as a rough coarse file to ream out the nodes on the inside. Start by extending just a little of the rebar past the pole so it's not too floppy, and then as you progressively ream through the nodes, you can extend the rebar by simply unwrapping and wrapping the chain again. The nodes at the base of the culm are a bit heavier, so they require a little bit more effort to pop, but will yield if you give it a good lunge. Also, it may require you to work the culm up and down the rebar several times just to reduce the friction and make it easier to attack the next node. If you get stuck on a node, try twisting it to release it, then ram it again. Once you progress all the way up to the chain, you just have to simply unwind it, extend some more bar, and rewind the chain around. And if your culm is much longer than your rebar, you just ream it up to the middle of the culm and then flip the culm around and ream it from the other side. After fiberglassing the outside of the hole, I released it from the molds and the strong back. And then I used these bamboo spacers here where the gunwale is at the mold intervals to maintain the correct shape and fiberglass the interior. However, in hindsight, I should have extended the laminated strips from the nose over the entire keel of the hull. So here you see me preparing some bamboo to retrofit an internal spine to give it additional strength. After the soak treatment and drying the calms out for a few days, I sanded off the outer silica and wax layer to prepare and roughen the surface for fiberglass and resin.
Mama was queen of the mambo, Papa was king of the Congo. Deep down in the jungle, I start banging my first bongo. Every monkey like to be in my place instead of me, 'cause I'm the king of bongo, baby, I'm the king of bongo bong. I went to the big town where there is a lot of sound, from the jungle to the city looking for a bigger crown. So I play my boogie for the people of big city, but they don't go crazy when I'm banging on my boogie. I'm the king of the bongo, king of the bongo. Hear me when I come, baby. King of the bongo, king of the bongo. Nobody like to be in my place instead of me, 'cause nobody go crazy when I'm banging on my boogie. I'm a king without a crown, hanging loose in a big town, but I'm a king of bongo, baby. I'm the king of bongo bongo. King of the bongo, king of the bongo. Hear me when I come, baby. King of the bongo, king of the bongo. Hear me when I come. They say that I'm a clown, making too much dirty sound. They say there is no place for little monkey in this town. Nobody like to be in my place instead of me, 'cause nobody go crazy when I'm banging on my boogie. I'm the king of the bongo, king of the bongo. Hear me when I come, baby. King of the bongo, king of the...
For fiberglassing, I used 100mm wide fiberglass tape. On the larger diameter calms, I spiral wrapped the calms, while on the smaller diameter calms, I wrapped them longitudinally.